My name's Corey David, and welcome to the Mile High Update. This past week, Great Britain extended its lockdown for at least 3 more weeks. The British government just paid for $20 million worth of tests that were said to detect antibodies for the virus, but unfortunately, the tests didn't actually work, much like the rest of the country right now. They should have known better when they ordered all the tests from Elizabeth Holmes. It seems like you could have just paid for a couple of tests before you hauled off and paid for $20 million worth. It's kind of like when I paid for 6 months of Zumba before ever actually attending a class. The description just seemed too good to pass on. It was fun, great for your abs and butt, changes your life, and learn how to dance. I mean, come on. Florida, on the other hand, after only being on lockdown for a week, has announced that they will be reopening their beaches to the public. While some states are actually considering lengthening their stay-at-home order, but it's not because they don't have any beaches, it's mostly because they hate anything associated with Bette Midler. At this point, who cares if we lose Florida? Really? It's not like they're contributing much to society. Their biggest contribution to the rest of the country was the band Creed. And just like the band, state officials are welcoming an outbreak with arms wide open. We should honestly just consider detaching Florida from the rest of the country and letting it drift at sea like the statewide cruise liner that it really is. Going on a trip to Florida is basically the same as going on the Diamond Princess. There's open ocean, fruity drinks, and the constant fear that at any moment a frat guy could kill you on a spring break trip. Last week, Donald Trump organized a team to help determine how to reopen the rest of the country safely, called the Opening the Country Council. That's a worse name for a team than the Charlotte Bobcats. Hashtag bring back the Hornets. The best sports teams' names, in my opinion, are the Orlando Magic and Buffalo Sabres. You can argue with me about it in the comments if you want. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Or you can come fight me about it in person, 6 feet apart. We each get a bullwhip and duke it out Indiana Jones style. Country Council sounds like the name of an appetizer platter at Cracker Barrel. We were trying to figure out what makes a good name for this council, and based on the people that are on it, we thought of the Economic Ventilators, the Board of Trustees, Nation Against Cremation, the Board of Untrustees, and my personal favorite, Legion of Boomers. If you have a better name, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. On the council is WWE owner Vince McMahon. He's on the team because at this point, why the hell not? Things are getting so out of hand, I'm starting to think that just like pro wrestling, none of this is actually real. Just like the XFL, he'll be bringing the country back 18 years later, only to fail immediately. Don't be surprised in next week's conferences if Trump starts saying things like, "Hey yo," refers to himself as the nature boy, asks reporters what their names are and responds with, "It doesn't matter what your name is." And when he tells other states to reopen against their wishes, he says it's because Stone Cold said so. To which I can only ask, what you gonna do when COVID-19 runs wild over you? Owner of the New England Patriots, Robert Kraft, was added to the council, specifically for his extensive research that he's conducted in Asian massage parlors. When asked if targeting Asian parlors was racist, Trump responded with, "We need to know if this can be transmitted through sucky sucky." The reason he added so many sports owners and commissioners was because, I quote, "I'm tired of watching baseball games that happened 14 years ago." We're tired of him bragging about shit that he did 14 years ago too, like when he ordered Melania. In terms of how the country will actually start to reopen, the president spent this past week talking out of both sides of his mouth. First, he stated, "We are not opening all at once, but one careful step at a time, giving states the freedom to reopen as they deem fit." Trump followed up with tweets encouraging states to liberate themselves in the form of protests, giving a whole new meaning to the word libtard. We haven't seen someone fight themselves this hard since Tyler Durden in Fight Club, except Donald Trump can't seem to stop talking about it. This past Sunday in Colorado, citizens, but not the cool ones, held a rally at the Capitol building to protest the stay-at-home order. Protesters argued they should be able to protest because a stay-at-trailer-home order was not imposed. The rally felt more like a traffic, like getting out at a Blake Shelton concert. F-150s were honking their horns, truck nuts were swinging, Trump and "Don't Tread on Me" flags were flying. 100% of the people attending looked like the kind of people that start every sentence with, "The problem with this country is..." About 40% of the people were wearing masks, which is surprising considering most of them don't even believe the virus is real. Much like the gridlock they were trying to create, they all need to just pick a lane. Honestly, the whole thing just felt like a big temper tantrum. It was a lot less "we're all in this together" and a lot more "what about me?" Kind of like an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where they only talk about Kanye. Listen, I empathize with these people. They made signs, like arts and crafts went into this. Granted, most of them were spelled wrong, but that's not the point. It reminds me of when my parents told me that my dog went to a farm upstate. These people just think that we're all being lied to, and so was I. For a better look at how it all went down this weekend, Denver's own Matt Kobos was live with aerial coverage of the protest. Matt?
Red, white, and blue, all the funny things you do. America, America, this is you.
That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Mile High Update. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your time. This show is brought to you by the refreshing taste of Paca Hard Seltzer, a product of Epic Brewing Company here in Denver, Colorado. This hard seltzer is a little different. It's made with real fruit juice and just tastes delicious. Doesn't have that syrupy, kind of aspirin-y flavor that you get from some hard seltzers. Damn, that's good.